Hello, my name is Pat Red, and I am the co-coordinator of the K-8 Unified ETEP program, along with Walter Kimball. I am also the state coordinator for PBIS, School-Wide Positive Behavioral Interventions and Supports, and I have had the pleasure this year of having Billy in my first year cohort because I primarily supervise the first year cohort. And I've had Billy this year in primarily seminar, as well as been able to work with his instructors through his courses this year. We have a couple of threads that go through our courses in the first year. One is RTI-A for academics and RTI-B for behavior. We also have threads that go along culturally responsive pedagogy, and we have some threads that go along the theme around data and data management progress monitoring. So I've had an opportunity to see Billy develop these threads throughout his program. In particular, I've seen Billy really develop and grow in the area of positive behavioral interventions and supports, which happens to be one of my strong areas of interest. Billy has taken it upon himself to really come up with some unique and innovative ways to apply positive behavior supports in his internship, and actually I think influence PBIS in the school that he works in. He also had to write a project for PBIS where they really had to think about traditional methods of discipline and looking at more positive methods of discipline, where he had some really reflective and thoughtful kind of ways to think about this. And also in their unit of teaching, they had to apply some positive management strategies in their units so that they could get the most out of their teaching. And we were able to see Billy really apply this. Some of the things that Billy did in particular around PBIS is he helped establish some expectations in his classroom around some global expectations that are positively stated, taught them to the students, and then came up with an acknowledgement system to be able to use with the students so they would be recognized for engaging in those desirable behaviors. One of the things that we see is that when students know what's expected of them, they are more likely to engage in desirable behaviors. When we pay attention to when they're engaging in those behaviors, they're more likely to demonstrate those behaviors. And when we have a culture of positivity in the classroom, it sets a culture that's more conducive to teaching for the teacher and learning for the students. And this has been reflected in some of the projects that Billy has done, some of the work that he's done in his internship, and also in his unit of study that he did in literacy for the internship. So we were able to see how many of these things that Billy did around positive supports really had a positive impact on the projects that he was doing. We also have seen Billy really grow from this person who was really interested in teaching, had an interest in teaching, had a passion for teaching, into a professional, as demonstrated in one way from his attire. He really started to walk the walk and talk the talk. He came from school to seminar dressed in his tie, looking very professional, and when asked about it, he said, well, I decided that if I was going to be a teacher, I should dress like a teacher and take on that role fully. And it's really impressive for him to not only want to take on the skills of a teacher, but also take on the qualities of a teacher. And this is just one of the small ways that we see Billy really taking on and growing professionally. In Billy's coursework and his standards reviews, they're always exemplary. He's very reflective. We have 10 teaching standards, and Billy is one of our exemplary students, and he does an awesome job providing evidence toward the standards. They're very creative. He's very technologically savvy. I'm sure you've already figured this out. And so he is very, very good at providing evidence toward the standards. They're creative, and they are high quality items and artifacts toward meeting those standards. So I think, to sum it up, Billy has taken the things that he's learned this year through his coursework, through his internship, through seminar, the things that he's learned around teaching, lesson planning, about literacy, around math, around positive supports, around progress monitoring, instructional strategies. He has applied these time and time again to his internship, to his teaching situation in his school. He has related to me how he is finding the connections over and over and over again not only in his classroom situation, but school-wide. And he is feeling more and more confident that he can take on the role of being an instructor. And I frankly don't see any reason to stand in Billy's way. I would highly recommend Billy for any opportunity to be an instructor.